Welcome, everyone, to probably the biggest difference Marvel Rivals has ever had. The biggest update, the biggest change. Marvel Rivals Season 9.0, way too early tier list. So as always, we do an 8.5, way too late, 9.0, way too early tier list. And this one's gonna be pretty different, I think. I know this one's gonna be pretty different, because the first time I recorded this video, my mic was off. So I know that the tier lists are gonna be different, because they were last time. I'm not looking at the tier list, I want to get it fresh off the dome every time. So we're gonna do it again. I could have just done a voiceover, but that's not authentic. I want it to be me. So, 9.0. Tons of team-ups, tons of changes. Oh yeah, and also Jubilee, you know? Also Jubilee is being thrown into the mix, you know? Probably the thing I'm least excited about, if I'm being honest, if I'm being frank, is Jubilee. But, you know, oh well. Another strategist never hurts. Looks like she'll probably be triple support, jail, but who knows? Another character will never hurt. So without further ado, let's get into this. Alright. So, some big things to talk about before we officially get started. Obviously, this is 8.5, this is 9.0. Obviously, we know the drill. But, characters that have been S tier, okay? Characters that have been S tier, or even one above all, may not stay, okay? Simply because there are just insane team-ups coming to the game on Friday, okay? Insane team-ups that are coming. And if you don't have an insane team-up, you cannot be in the same echelon as the insane team-ups. I hate to say it, but it's true. And there will be insane team-ups, and there will be not insane team-ups. The best example of that is Doctor Strange, I think. Doctor Strange and Hulk are probably the best example of this dichotomy. Doctor Strange is getting some tweaks to his actual kit. He was obviously S tier before, probably bottom of S tier in 8.5, but his team up with Invis, he does a ton of damage, he's very reliable, everyone picks him, okay? Whether it's for the portal, whether it's for him actually being used, he's great, okay? Solid all around. Gotta be S, if not A tier, somewhere up there, you know? He's getting additional health, he's getting additional shield value, but you're removing the anchor bonus and the whatnot, because they're removing anchors entirely, but he's getting even more shield when he has Invis as an ally, right? So, 1,000 shield, that'll be big, you know? Got the Invis team up again, as before. Or he can choose the Hulk team up, which boosts his charge rate, prevents anti-heal, prevents the decay, if Hulk's an ally. But that's all just basically slight adjustments, slight improvements, slight, like, just mechanical things, right? Basically just oiling the cogs. That's all it is for Doctor Strange. You're just making him run a little bit more smooth. And compared to Hela literally creating squids whenever she hits you with her ultimate, I just don't think that these are equal. You know, one of these things is not like the other. Unfortunately, I think that Doctor Strange is going to be B tier. Now, the big difference here is Hulk. Hulk is B tier right now, okay, in 8.5. He has been B tier. simply because he's very difficult to learn. He works in a couple scenarios, not others. But if you're amazing with him, you can get great value. But Hulk is getting some really impactful changes. Hulk is getting a primary attack buff. He's getting a bunch of regenerative shield. His ultimate is getting a little bit more expensive, but that'll be fine. His damage boost is gonna, affect that. And overall, he's losing 50 health. But his team-ups, oh my goodness, his team-ups are insane. Captain America team-up has another movement ability, so he'll take less damage, do more damage, have a jump slam that reduces his cooldown, so he's gonna have even more uptime as well. And if Cap's an ally, apply vulnerable to enemies hit. But if Wolverine is an upgrade that he chooses, increase movement speed, increase attack speed, get CC immunity when he's at low health, and then he gets 2 versions of that same upgrade. If Wolverine's an ally, he can throw him and get the same thing. Like, these team-ups are leaps and bounds, pun intended, better than Doctor Strange. I think we're going to see Hulk as like the leading the charge of tanks next season. Like, it's not even close to the team-up difference here. Hulk just completely is going to sweep the floor team-up wise. So don't be surprised if some of this stuff keeps happening to some of your beloved favorites, some of your beloved characters. Like Doctor Strange may not hold a candle to some of the new upgrades. And it's Marvel Rivals 2, it's a very different game. Things are going to be different, things are going to change, and there's not much we can really say about that. We're just going to have to roll with the punches. So don't flood the comments, be too upset. I mean, do whatever you want. I can't force you to do anything. But just be prepared moving forward. The things are going to be very different on the right than they are on the left. Okay? This is comfortable. This is scary. Alright? Be aware. Moving on to Groot, another crowd favorite. Prior. Groot is basically getting no kit difference, but his team-ups aren't much to write home about. Mantis Healing Wall, basically exactly what it was, but apparently it upgrades if you have Mantis as an ally after so much time or so much healing. I haven't seen that in action. We'll see how good that is, what it actually does eventually. And his Jeff 1 doesn't really fit Groot's playstyle. He gets an invincible floating bubble that he can move to other places, right? Maybe you could have high ground with Groot. That's interesting. But besides that, Groot doesn't need an invincible bubble. If someone is like, you need an invincible bubble for Groot, things have gone wrong. Okay? He's not a frontline character. He puts walls up for that. So I'm concerned about that one. I think it opens some doors. I think it has some possibilities. But I just don't think these upgrades are going to hold much of a candle to things like Hulk, things like Hela. So, putting things into perspective, I think Groot's going to be B tier with Strange. I just don't think these upgrades are pushing the needle far enough forward like they are for Hulk, like they are for any of these others, like Penny. Penny's up next. Penny has been B tier, Niche cases, some people dive with Penny in rare circumstances. She's getting a slight health nerf for next season, but her team-ups, again, push the needle very far. She gets a shield. That could be helpful, because she can then frontline. That's a crazy concept. Put the nest in the back line to prevent dive, and she can frontline with a shield. That's a very interesting concept, and if you don't want to do that, you can have as many as 3 different nests with the Rocket team up. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Penny do some really serious stuff. Now, granted, obviously Phoenix still will wipe the floor with her, but like, thank you Pizza Hut, that's very helpful. Penny will obviously get wiped with Phoenix. You know, Phoenix ult will just not care about any of that stuff. But the concept of having the nest there, having it very difficult to clear through her stuff, you know, Penny and Groot being these stronghold tanks, I think is a very interesting concept, and they're leaning into that for Penny. I'm concerned about what they're trying to push Groot to become. I hope they don't try to make him as much of a frontline tank, because his kit's not built for that right now. You know? Penny? Sure. I mean, she's been bad for so long, people have gotten creative. So, you know, getting creative with her, not the end of the world, not the biggest loss there could be. I'm hopeful for her. We'll see what happens. Magneto has been A tier. I hate to say it. Magneto's my boy. I love him. I got 70 hours on the guy. But Magneto has one really big purpose, and it's Punisher ult. If Punisher's not banned, then you run Mag, specifically for the ult. He doesn't get ults as fast as supports do, so you can't reliably use that for that, but you can reliably use it for Punisher. So being a Magneto main, I like to ban Punisher a lot, so that I don't have to play Magneto alone, because he is not the best tank in the game. He's great, don't get me wrong. I love him to death, but I wouldn't consider him the #1 tank in the game. Obviously, he's an A tier at the moment. Moving forward, however, Magneto is one of the, I think, 2 tanks that are not getting any kit changes. And his team-ups, not half bad. Emma Frost Duplication is back with a short time, but if Emma Frost is on the team, the duplication is permanent. Like, genuinely, the duplication is permanent. You get 2 Magnetos that have the same amount of health, that stay by each other, but the enemy cannot determine which is which. And they just stay that way until one of them dies. You know? If the copy dies, great. If you die, then obviously the copy goes away. That's really good. Alternatively, for a more offensive option, Scarlet Witch, Sword is back, which was a great option for an offensive mag tool. Very long distance, decent damage, does AoE now too. And I'm not a fan of the right click with Witch as an ally, personally, but it gives another option if you want to go full offense for mag. I think Mag's going to be up here as a no-brainer. I really do. I think Mag's going to be amazing. Mag and Emma Frost, those two could just run the game next season. And this is what I'm talking about, between the Mag and the Strange buffs. Strange just got some, just got some oil on the wheels, Just making things run a little smoother. Mag got some fundamental changes and some really good team-ups that don't require people to be there to actually make good on. Yeah, I don't have much more to say about that. I'm really excited about Mag. I hope it comes through, but I'm really excited to try Mag and have basically three tanks on the field with an Emma Frost with me. So I'm hopeful. I'm really excited for that. Moving on to Venom. I have not seen it myself, but I hear people swear up and down that Venom is a monster, is a menace, is the hardest thing to take care of ever. I get that he's hard to kill, but in my elo, not many people play him. I will take the word for it. I know he's played all the time in pro play, of course, and he's great with, like, with coordination and stuff, with the anti-heal and the whatnot. I get that. I see the potential. I just don't feel it. You know, I don't feel the impact that Venom has had on the game yet. At least recently. But I trust people that put more time into this than I do, that he is higher up here. As I have seen some Venoms do certain things. There's just not many people that play him, at least where I'm at. Moving forward, though, I'm gonna just say it. Like, I'm calling it. I usually leave this to the end, but Venom is gonna be crazy. Venom's already really hard to kill. Blade team up gives him lifesteal and a burst heal on certain abilities. Phoenix team up applies sparks when she's there. So he dives in, applies sparks to the backline. Phoenix just gets one hit and kills a support. That's absurd. Like, that's a crazy combination. Yeah, I mean, that's gonna be crazy. If you're a tank main or you're a DPS main that duos with the other, learn Venom and Phoenix right now, because that combo is going to be nasty, to say the least. Speaking of a combo, Thor. Thor has been kind of iffy recently. If you're a great Thor player, you can do a lot of stuff. He can do a ton of things. Problem just becomes that he's not, you know, he doesn't really... how do I want to say this? Doesn't do enough, if that makes sense, you know? Like, he's only got the Angela team up now. And Thor and Angela doesn't make a lot of sense, because you really want to frontline with a Thor. It can work, but he's a good, you know, second tank as an off tank. He can go out and be a fat DPS, you know. And unless you're really running it like that, things become a lot harder for you and your second tank. So right now he's kind of iffy. He might be considered the worst tank in the game. Actually, no, that's not true. Second worst tank in the game. We'll get there. But I'm hopeful for Thor's future. I think he's got some interesting team-ups. He's got a revive on death with Hela. If he gets a kill, if Hela's on the team, then if he or Hela gets a kill, he's got some changes to his kit coming. Hammer throw is better. Got some regenerative health and increased travel distance of his storm surge. So, you know, we'll see. Plus the Angela team up gives him hammers back when he uses it. That's nice. I don't know, I'm just not crazy enthusiastic about Thor. I might put Thor down to B with Strange and Groot, because I don't know if it's going to move the needle as much as, like, Penny's team up that gives her 3 nests, or Hulk's team up that makes him a raging beast. Like, these are fun, you know, these are cool. He gets basically more health if he has a Hela team up, and he can move and do things a lot faster, but Thor is not a menace right now. I mean, he probably is to low elo, but everything can be a menace to low elo. So, I don't know if Thor's gonna move much. I think he might stay put. I might move him to A, but there's plenty of tanks to rank still. Speaking of Captain America, the guy that everyone loves and everyone adores and has just been losing their minds about, he's somewhere up here. He's easier to learn, make use of than Venom. You just use one of his movement abilities to dive in, use the other to dive out when you need to. Venom has very specific timing that you gotta use. But if you get the timing down, you know, you're golden. Moving forward, though, Cap's upgrades are not great. I gotta say it. I mean, he's got the Bucky team up with anyone, basically. But that matter? I mean, it applies Overshield. Sure, I mean, it'll be a way for him to get out of, I guess, the line of fire. And then his Thor one, that one could be fun, right? You don't have to get hits then to throw the shield. You just get the electric shield. It comes back. Great. You know, it gives him a little bit more utility. But it's very similar to the Strange ones. I think it's just, you know, greasing the wheels. I think it's just making him work better, work more efficiently. And I don't know if that's going to be the end of the world, you know? Yeah, I think Cap fits in with this Strange Groot combo here, where they're just not getting fundamental changes. They're getting some better efficiency and some better things, but it's just not the end of the world. You know, the team-ups aren't changing everything. You know, see where things go, but I think Cap's just going to be very similar. I think he's getting a health nerf. Well, yeah, 100 health nerf. You're going to feel that. Yeah, you're going to feel that a lot. He's getting regenerative health, but that's a huge health nerf, man. I'm worried about Cap. That health nerf, that definitely is going to solidify him in B. I'm not going to put him down to C, but I don't know. I hope he's still pretty playable, and he's still good to go. I could be wrong, he could deserve C, but as far as I know, I'm going to leave him B, and we'll see where things go on Friday. These are the on-release tanks. I guess I spoiled it over here. I might as well spoil it over here. Groot's one above all right now. But we've known that. That is what it is. Nothing's changed for that. On to post-release with The Thing. Thing is getting some very serious changes. Right now he's A. His whole point is anti-dive. Works well with Hulk in certain scenarios, not in every scenario. Gamma team up I will miss, because that's going away. But I will sacrifice it for what he's getting, man. Increase his bonus health cap by 50 with his right click. And then 2 bug fixes, basically, for The Thing. His team-ups are great. Human Torch team-up has a damage boost, which does faster attacks. And then Torch movement also activates The Thing, just like the Hulk team-up with Wolverine. When he throws it, it activates The Thing. And he also has a separate charge. The Things, when he gets thrown, it activates The Thing, and he has a separate charge. Like, he's gonna be fighting. He's gonna be punching so much faster and have more health, prevent more people from getting away, or with Invis, he can heal nearby allies. With his shield, he gets additional healing and even more overshield. Like, this guy's gonna be good. This guy's gonna be really good. I think there are better team-ups, but I think he's definitely going to keep his position at A. These are good team-ups for the thing. Problem is that he really gets hit by poke. Poke characters are getting just fed everything with this stuff, so I can't in good conscience put him in S very well, because I just think he's going to get torn apart this season if you don't play him perfectly. I do worry about that, but I think he'll be great in A tier. I think that's very solid, very consistent. Moving on to the White Queen, S tier. We talked about her team up with Mag. Crazy. She has been S tier, very consistent, very good tank, very reliable, anti-dive, anti-frontlines. Her team up with Luna now is great with the slow and the extra wall. Everyone's playing Luna and Fox, so that's great. And now she gets the wall permanently. And her diamond form slows, and her E slows, and she does more damage when she's in diamond form with Luna's team up. And she does more damage when the ice wall's put up. Like, there's so many things that are being upgraded for Emma Frost, and if she's team up with Magneto, you get 3 tanks and 4 bubbles and like 6 shields, pretty much. You can choose that one, or you can choose the Mantis one. It gives her a bunch of overshield and reduces her cooldowns whenever she uses her psychic spear thing. Both are very good options. I prefer the wall, I think, but both are very good options. I'm very excited to see how she turns out. Now for, I think, one of the biggest shakeups. Angela has been A tier. She's been great. Also, by the way, Emma Frost is the other tank that's getting no changes to her stats. No changes to her kit in the patch notes at all. It's just Mag and Emma. So for better or for worse, no anchor, removal. They didn't have anchors. Yeah, things are just flat with them. Very nice. Very simple, very clean, very elegant. Back to Angela. Angela has been A. She can't solo tank, but she does good when the focus is on someone else. Then she can come in and kidnap. She's getting regenerative health. They're keeping her health roughly the same. Yeah. No massive health changes. She's just getting 200 regenerative health now. The difference comes in her team-ups. We'll do Star-Lord first. It's not bad. You get walls. You can see through walls. You can see enemies through walls, that is, when you use the ability. Then you can dive the ground instead of going straight down. You can dive in front of you. And then you get to be grounded without using your cooldown. And you ground enemies hit. And then if he's on the team, Star-Lord's on the team, then you gain overshield based on how many enemies you hit. Very solid, very consistent. If that was it for Angela, that'd be nice. But no one's ever going to use that, because the Loki one exists, where you just summon a clone of yourself that gets to kidnap for you for like 2 seconds, 2 or 3 seconds. And if Loki is an ally, which Loki has some great team-ups too, you get 2 charges of that. So you can use your entire shift and get someone halfway to an edge, and then use your Loki team-up and just send them off the edge. And then if they're like Mr. Fantastic, or they're the Thing, and they try to jump back to you, they jump to the clone. and then the clone disappears and they fall into the void. She's going to be a problem. Like, she's going to be a real problem. I'm very glad that we've been steering further and further away from single tank stuff. I think Devil Dino helped a lot with that, because you really can't solo tank with him now. That does happen, don't get me wrong, but people have really been moving closer to a 2-2-2 mindset recently. Very happy for that. So, Angela has another tank. You can play her. Like, you can play her, and you can use the clones. I think she's going to be a real menace. I really do. I'm very scared about facing a good Angela next season. Now from a high to a low, unfortunately. Rogue was getting good. Rogue was getting better. They took a lot of her stuff from her team up with Gambit and put it into her base kit, stats-wise. And she was alright, you know? Didn't need the team up. If she had the team up, great, but didn't do everything anymore. And now she is getting a nerf. She's getting a nerf. And she's getting a 75 max health nerf, just like Cap. I think Cap's is actually 100. But like 75 health nerf is not great. She's gotten some regenerative shield, which could be nice. She's usually in front anyway. I mean, you have to have the regenerative health. Someone who's most of the time frontlining. I mean, that's a bad sign. But it doesn't get much better from there with her team-ups. They've taken so much away from her team-ups before. They've nerfed them so much. And now, like, get ready. Magneto team-up, she just has her right-click shield improved. And then her right-click, left-click combo does a little bit more damage if Mag's on the team. Great. Yay. You're just bolstering things that already exist, making things a little bit better. Sure. I mean, she's a tank. Damage is not the most important thing for her. Doesn't get much better for her Gambit one. I mean, it's good, okay, don't get me wrong. He gets the Gambit one permanently. And if Gambit's on the team, it's just always on. That's great, you know, that's fantastic. At least it would be if they didn't just nerf it into the ground a patch ago. And they wouldn't nerf it into the ground a patch ago if they didn't intend to carry it over now. So I don't know if Rogue is going to be all that next season. I'm concerned about her. She's getting a lot of nerfs. Her team-up's got a ton of nerfs. She didn't get the great one with Magneto. Plus, if Magneto's that good, he may be banned all the time. Spoiler alert, Gambit's gonna be banned all the time. Yeah. So I'm concerned. I'm hoping she won't be in C, but I wouldn't be surprised if she struggles a lot this season. Now to my personal favorite character, Deadpool. Deadpool is now the worst tank in the game. It is not close. He has no damage, he can do nothing. He's used in pro play, but anyone can be used in pro play at a high level. But moving into 9.0, he is getting a middle ground, you know, an upgrade to his damage, because they significantly nerfed it. They're going halfway back from, you know, I think it was like 40 or something, and they took it down to like 34. If I remember correctly, they're taking it to 36 standard. and then up to 40 when it's upgraded. I could be wrong, something like that, but they're choosing a middle ground now for his damage, and it's a good sign. He's also getting a lot of damage reduction now for his E. That will help immensely. And his team-ups are both great. Only problem with his team-ups is that he has 2 team-ups with the 2 characters that have the most team-ups in the game, and will most likely be permabanned in the game. Gambit and Hela. They're both decent, though. I think that the Hela one is probably better for DPS pool, but, you know, we'll find out. Gambit 1 has a forward leap, so it's another movement ability. Great for him, because he's very hard to hit. He likes to be very hard to hit, with only 500 health. That's not changing, by the way. And if Gambit's on the team, which he probably won't be, but if he's on the team, then he stuns his enemies, so he can jump in with a gun ult, stun a support, use the gun ult, throw the shield down, use the E, some combination of that. That's completely out of order. Probably use the E, then jump, throw the shield while you're jumping, land, use the gun ult, and then use your swords or your guns to do a little bit of damage, and they'll probably die. You know? They'll try to heal, or they'll try to heal a nearby support, or the enemy team, or their allies. And there's just going to be a lot of heat, a lot of pressure all at once, and they don't see it coming. It might be too much for them. So I've got some big plans for Deadpool. I think he might come back. I think he might be back, and I think there's some very serious things that you could do with this guy now. So we'll see. We'll find out. I'll be doing a lot of testing with him, I'm sure, but you know, we'll get there. We'll definitely get there. One more tank to go. I promise it won't be this long for every roll, but I really wanted to embellish on tanks because I really like the tanks. I'm a tank player. Yeah. Devil Dino still gets banned a ton. He's really good. Problem is, you have to have another tank and you have to play with cover. Because otherwise people just swap to poke and he melts. His team-ups, not bad. He gets the long-range turrets with Punisher, and the Punisher can ride on top of him, or he gets to heal allies with his beam, and then Jeff can ride on top of him. Both not bad. Both seem like they'll be interesting. I don't think he'll be top of the line, but I do think he'll be noteworthy. Plus, again, like the Thing, he just will have a real big problem of poke, because all the poke characters getting fed a lot with this patch. So if everyone's playing poke, it might have a harder time for him. But he's getting some interesting stuff for his kit upgrades too. He's getting more damage reduction for headshots, and his ultimate conversion rate is going down. And with the ultimate changes as well, the ultimate nerfs like they did a couple patches ago, that might help. You know, that might help him a lot. That might make a big difference. We'll find out. But moving on to duelists. This is the tank lineup, and we'll see how faithful this is. I'm hopeful for most of these tanks to be very viable, very balanced like they have been. Alright, duelist speed run. No, I'll be fair. But I won't take as long, I'm sure. Iron Man is getting the Gamma team up back, which is a big damage boost. Or a Thor team up, which is a distance boost. Both very, very worthy upgrades, I think. Only problem's gonna be poke, I think, is that, you know, he's very susceptible to poke, he's very slow. But I think he'll put out a lot of damage. And if you already know how to play him, I think you can do some good stuff. He's garbage now, but I think you can... I don't think he'll be garbage in the future. I think he's got the potential to really be solid. Spider-Man's good now. I see him banned constantly. Spider-Man is getting the Venom team-up back, which does a ton of damage reduction. So halfway through your combo, you can just use that ability, and then boom, you won't take nearly as much damage. I think it's like 90% damage reduction that you get, and you do a little bit of damage, so it helps on top of that. So either start with that and make people try to use their supports try to use their freeze or their fox or, you know, something, or put it somewhere in the middle. You know, I'm not a Spidey player, but I'm sure they'll figure it out. And the Penny team up with web mines, sure. I don't think it'll get used, though. I think the Venom one is just too good. Namor has knockback waves. Namor's been great. I think he will continue to be very good with the Gamma Squid coming back and the knockback wave. Knockback wave, sure. I mean, why not? It is another anti-dive tool. I don't see it being a problem, but I think the Gamma Squid is very good. Because think about this. Hela, with the Namor team up, with Namor on the team, having up to 3 Death Squids, and then Namor having his 2, and a Gamma Squid. That's 6 squids. Namor uses his right click, he's going to focus all of them, and that might just pop someone, like, immediately. He's got potential. He's got very good potential. I am looking forward to seeing where he goes. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just thinking about Thor again. I don't know. I don't want to keep him in A, because I don't know if I believe in him as much as I do Tank Pool, The Thing, but I believe in him more than I do Strange for next season. I'll do that. I changed him now. I might change him again. I'll be thinking on it. Black Panther now is very niche. Thing completely shuts him down. Black Panther, he's getting a rewind with magic, or a group pull, a group mark thing pull with Storm. I don't think you'll ever see Storm on that team, so I don't think you'll ever see the pull in action. The magic one is, you know, very possible. I think he's going to be C simply because he does get shut down very easily, but he has options, and I do see that. I'll put him here. He has options. His combos are back. Things are looking up for him. I see him having potential in the future. We'll see how much potential, but I see it. I see things happening with it. Magic is here with him, and I think Magic will be here with him as well. Magic is actually probably here this season, when I think of it. Obviously, Magic now has had the highest win rate in the game. Magic players know when to swap, so that helps that, but it also helps that she's good and she's reliable. Very similar to BP though. She does get shut down very easily. But she's got some like banger team-ups that are coming up, man. The Hood team-up, where she creates like a whole field of damage every time she puts down a demon. She does that every time she does a shift. That is constant. Constant. That could be a big deal. And her Doctor Strange one, which it won't be hard to get Doctor Strange on a team. Because everyone plays him, no matter where he's ranked. Everyone could rank him at F and everyone would still play him. Like, he's one of the most played tanks because he's reliable, he has a big shield, and everyone knows him. So you will get Doctor Strange plays. You can chain like 3, 4, 5 people with that, I think. That could be a serious team up. I think she has good potential, but I think A tier has more potential than she will. And I think she just needs things to come together well for her, have a good environment, and then I think she'll pop off. I don't think it's just going to be a gimme. I think Namor you might be able to run all the time and do really good stuff with. Magic you might be a little more pick and choosy with. Storm right now is garbage. Storm, I think, will be C tier. Storm is getting damage boost with Thor, but she's getting S9.0 back, and she's getting the Firestorm back, and apparently she can do both at the same time. So I can't put her in D because she could have a team-eating ultimate. Plus, it only costs her ultimate now. It does not cost Jeff's ultimate or Storm's ultimate. Like, or I guess Human Torch's ultimate. Johnny Storm, I thought of. So yeah, you can just have Storm use her ult, Jeff be a part, and then have her run over some Human Torch flames on the ground, and you get this Firestorm S9.0 thing that will just annihilate everything in its path. Problem is, no one plays Storm, and if you use that, you get the rain healing thing, but then you don't get damage boost, you don't get chain lightning that has with Thor. You can always swap to that when you have your ultimate, but that means dying or going back to spawn. I don't know. I think she just is a harder character to play, and with Poke especially getting fed this season, like I've been saying, she might struggle to find the right circumstance. You know, not everyone plays her either. So you gotta find the right niche, but she has potential. She has very high potential. The SARs just have to align for her. Star-Lord has been S tier, up here with Namor. Actually, I think I'll put these guys ahead of Spider-Man. These guys have been great. Star-Lord's been great. I think he will be good continually. He's getting some Spore Traps with Groot. Nothing to write home about. But he's getting the Guardian Revival and Teleport combined into one ability with Adam Warlock. That is something to write home about. That is something very, very interesting. Like, his two best team-ups combined into one. And then if Adam's on the team with him, every time he gets a kill, he reduces cooldowns. Depending on how things go, he may even go up to S tier, but I think him being here, just because Adam is not the greatest character in the game, I'll probably try to keep him here and not put him in S tier, but I could change my mind. We'll see where things go. We'll see how things progress. Punisher has been A tier. big nuisance. He's got a great ultimate. Moving forward, he has armor-piercing rounds and unlimited ammo for a short time with Rocket Raccoon. Or, yeah, I think unlimited ammo for a short time. Daredevil with Punisher is an interesting combination, but it would be worth armor-piercing rounds. Rocket will get played. He's been great. He will continue to be great. He's got some good team-ups too. I think we'll see a lot of Punisher. I don't know if he'll be S tier, because Mag will probably be played a ton. We'll find out. You know, we'll find out. Wanda is not a failed character right now. She's not good. Okay. She's not a failed character. Moving forward, she is, I think, getting some bug fixes stuff for her kit. Let me take a look. Wanda, Scarlet Witch, down here. Yes. Dark Seal can now be cast while Mystic Projection is active. But it will prematurely cancel the Mystic Projection. Yeah. It's like Strange, it's like Groot, like Thor. You're just greasing the wheels, you know, making her work a little better. And that's exactly what her team-ups are doing. You know, her Doctor Strange combo now exists by default, deserves to be a part of her kit always. And she gets a Jubilee team-up, which I'm sure you'll see Jubilee, where she can explode her bubble and she can shift. You can heal while shifted. I think she's in a Blade situation right now, where we're just going to see how many times we can buff Scarlet Witch until she breaks. Speaking of, I will actually delete this failed row, realizing I don't need a failed row for 9.0. We have no idea what's going to happen. I can't say that anything's failed, because I can't say that anything's succeeded, you know? But I will keep failed over here, because we have at least one character that deserves it. Hela has been great. Don't see many bans for her, but her and Namor have a great team-up. It's required both of them before. It does not require both of them now. She just has Death Squids, up to 3. Just as part of her kit. She can do that, or she can get healing with Venom. Upgraded E that pulls more and does more damage, or she gets healing with her right-click dagger volley. They're both good abilities, they're both great, but her being able to have Death Squids all the time could be a real problem. The reason she's all the way up here is because I think her and Gambit are the only 2 characters that enable 4 different characters' abilities. And that's why I'm very upset about Deadpool's, because he has Hela and Gambit as his upgrades, man. Like, he will never get either of those fully fulfilled. Both of those characters are going to be permabanned. Like, the amount of upgrades that they have, I'm spoiling it. I did it for Venom. I'll do it here. Ella is going to be one above all next season. Just the amount of upgrades she has, the amount of things she enables, she's going to have to be banned every single game. If she gets through, Lord have mercy. All I'm going to say. On to Bucky. Bucky's B tier. Similar to Magic, he needs a good environment to work. Plus, people assume that he's just a pick-win character. He's not. You gotta know what you're doing. Bucky is not getting any ability changes, but his team-ups are really good. His Elsa team-up lets him reduce cooldowns. um, frequently. Because he basically gets the Elsa passive, little bar at the bottom of the screen. He can reduce his cooldowns with that. That could be a big deal. His other team up is a really long distance arm push. I think it's the longest CC that we have in the game. And that could be the difference between being on and off the map in just a matter of seconds. And he casts it very quickly. It's a very fast ability, comes out of nowhere, and you can change it on a whim. You could be using the Elsa Bloodstone cooldown passive for the entire game, and then the moment that the cart is near an edge, unlike the first point for Arako, or the second point for the Shinshibuya convoy map, and then he just starts volleying people off the ledge. I think you'll have some very good opportunities for Bucky. Can't be S tier, because there are better team-ups, I think. Crazy to say, because I just glazed him for the last, 3 minutes. But, you still gotta know what you're doing. You still have to have the capabilities for him, and has to have a good team comp. I think if you are a really good Hela, I think you lock in Hela immediately and the team just forms around you. You know, like the aura that Hela's going to have is going to be insane. Psylocke. Getting some pretty decent buffs. She is currently B tier, very similar to these guys. Very, similar boat. You gotta know when to play them and when to not. She's suffered a lot with the ult changes, and there's going to be even more ult changes. I think she's going to suffer more. I am concerned about that, but her team ups are not bad. She's got the Emma Frost duplication, and with Emma Frost, she can swap with the clone. Not bad. And you'll see Emma Frost, so that won't be a problem. And she's got Cloak and Dagger, who you'll also see. That's also not a problem. Who lets her stealth a ton and heal, self-heal, or with Cloak and Dagger, ally healing. Does some bursts. So, I don't think she'll be bad. I think those will be enough to keep her in B. I don't think they'll be enough to be more than maintenance, but I feel like these 4 here in B tier, I think these 4 are really, really in the same category of with good team ups, with a good situation, good scenario, they're going to be monsters. But there's just a few too many factors to be able to lock them in every time, be able to just sweep with them every time. They need some help. They need some nuance to them. So they're just a step below. They're in B tier. But look out for them. I think they'll be sleeper picks if some of these upper characters are permabanned. Just look out. Moon Knight right now is probably A tier. You getting any changes? Not really. His ult's getting a bit more expensive, so that's not great. I don't think Moon Knight's going to be great next season. He's got a bad team up with Cloak and Dagger, where he does a heal dash, but doesn't do much healing. It gives him a movement ability, but he's got 3. So I don't see the problem with that. An Elsa team up gives him a second Ankh. Great, but will a second Ankh be enough? I don't know. It does more pulling, it does some initial damage when you place it, so it could be something. I just think that he is going to be outperformed by some of these great characters, these amazing characters, and these out-of-this-world broken characters. You know, I just don't see him being number one anywhere. You know, a second Onk will help, the team-up's not bad, and him and Elsa Bloodstone can realistically be on the same team. It's not crazy to think that those two would be together, but I just don't see it as, like I've said, moving the needle enough, you know, pushing the envelope and as much as some of these others do. So, for that, he's got to be C tier. Hawkeye right now is C. You can get use out of him, but like Black Panther, very easily countered. He can do almost nothing against dive. Is what it is. I feel bad, but I think he'll belong here. There's going to be really serious dive next season. Some really serious dive characters that have gotten good upgrades, like Spider-Man, Venom, Daredevil's not bad. Iron Fist got some new great combos. You got these three that will have good scenarios. And what does Hawkeye have? He's got his slashes with Cloak and Dagger that heal and do vulnerable. So you gotta have like instant precision to make use of the vulnerable that you cast with that. Or you do Psylocke, which is just an improvement to his bomb arrows. But that's not anti-dive, that is just sit in a tower and take pot shots. I don't know if he'll be very good. I think there's just much better upgrades. Plus, he's getting like what, arrow speed changes to his kit? Yeah, arrow speed changes, projectile speed changes. Very slight projectile speed changes. That's not enough. Okay? That's not enough. This is my suggestion, my opinion. His Cloak and Dagger slash should be something that grounds opponents. Okay? Like, change it from Cloak and Dagger to the Thing. Change it from Cloak and Dagger to something else. Even keep it as Cloak and Dagger. Remove the healing. Okay? Like, there's no point for him to have healing slashes. It just, I don't see the use for it. Vulnerable is not bad, because if someone dives him, he could slice, he could use the slash, push them away from him, and apply vulnerable so he could get a good headshot or something. But use the slash on a dive character. Either they're just going to keep pursuing you, get closer, and then you can't do anything, or just swing away, or jump away, or something away. If they're grounded, though, and they have vulnerable, they dive you. If you have the reaction time and you notice it, you use the slash, you ground them, you hit vulnerable, they're near you, grounded, sitting still, you headshot them, then you continue on your merry way. I think that is much better answer for Hawkeye, because I don't see him being used all that much. He doesn't have phenomenal team-ups. He doesn't really enable anyone but Black Widow, I think. And I think Widow has more important things on her mind. Speaking of Widow, for the vibes, I don't think Squirrel Girl is getting much better, honestly. She has got Iron Man team up like before, but her other one actually matters. uh, she can apply webbing because she's got team up with Spider-Man. That's a weird combo, I gotta say. Spider-Man and Squirrel Girl, weird combo. Um, it's technically possible, but it would be weird to see them in the same game, I think. I just don't think that... I don't know. It's always possible, but it's a weird dynamic to see those two having a specific team up that requires, you know, whatever. The stun could be useful. That's about all I can say. The stun could be useful. It's another stun. You could potentially stun someone for a long time. Spider-Man is an ally. Thank you, WinZip. Very helpful. Spider-Man is an ally. You can stun multiple people, but not crazy. Not, you know. Sure, you stun a couple people, and then you could throw the nut and stun them for longer. But I don't know if it's going to be the end of the world. You know, if someone's stunned, most of the time they get taken care of. And if they're not in a bad way, but like in a good way, you know, they get healed, they get bubbled, they get shielded, they get something. So, if they're just stunned for a long time, maybe you use some resources? I don't know. I think she's just going to be for the vibes. I mean, we had the whole recent drama and the whatnot with Squirrel Girl collecting certain characters like Infinity Stones. Maybe she'll be the next to be reworked. We'll find out. Iron Fist is next, getting no changes to his kit. I think Iron Fist has been fine. I think he's actually probably A tier. I don't know. A or B right now. Problem is not a ton of people play him, and kind of works the best against tanks. A lot of tanks can just push him away, or have supports that are healing them while everything's happening. So it's not like the perfect use of dive character, but if he's diving with someone else that's taking out the supports, and then he's able to come in and take out a tank that's been isolated, take out, you know, a tanky DPS, or try to separate people, you know, maybe it does something. You know, maybe you can try to crowd around a tank and be fine. But it's right now it's odd. It's you gotta play him right. You gotta play him in the right circumstance, the right scenario, and the thing does shut him down quite a bit. Moving forward, he's getting a good uppercut with the thing, which I think is ironic. And he's getting healing fists with White Fox instead of Luna. The uppercut seems very interesting for some combos. I think he's probably joining the B squad here, where they have the capability to do some interesting things, but you know, you gotta play him in the right way, the right circumstance, and you can't get greedy. You know, you gotta play him right. You can't overuse them in the wrong way. I'm gonna pull a Thor here and put Star-Lord up here, because I've been thinking on that. I think he deserves it. But I think Iron Fist has good capability for some good combos, but you gotta know when to hold them, when to fold them, and when to walk away. Like many of these other B tier characters. Now for The lady of the update. Black Widow. Where will the reworked Widow end up? Obviously, she was failed. I mean, she was failed enough that it completely, like, reworked her. I think Widow will end up in A. I think everyone is going to try to play her, and I think if you've ever played Fortnite, I haven't, but if you ever have played Fortnite, you probably have some experience with her primary playstyle a little bit. You ever played like PUBG? Any of those battle royales have a very similar primary weapon, what she's about to have. I think that could help. I think that could help immensely with the shift, and I think she's gonna be alright. Her ultimate could do some very serious things now that it pierces through people. And the slow, that could make the difference. You know, put her with some dive, she even diving, that could make a difference. That could make a serious difference. Yeah. Moving on, we have Wolverine. Wolverine is a menace now because Wolverine and Cyclops are... You gotta ban one, or else you suffer as a tank player. Moving forward, he's got a Gambit team up, which probably won't happen much, and a Cyclops team up, which could happen because they're nerfing Cyclops into the ground. But Wolverine's not getting any stat changes, just these team ups. Gambit 1 is interesting. He basically gets a mini Gambit ult with a jump and a damage boost, and then with Gambit on the team, he gets self-healing. Cyclops 1 gets a damage boost in the Beyblade, like before, but what's really interesting is if Cyclops is on the team, he gets a permanent Beyblade, which could be a big deal. Could really be a big deal. Damage boost from both of them is scary, but I think the scarier thing is that Hulk has a great team up with Wolverine, and Hulk I think will be played a lot. If Hulk is being played a lot, you might see Wolverine more frequently than not. Both of his team ups are great. The permanent Beyblade mode is very concerning, and there's good tanks, but you know, Magneto can be eaten alive by Wolverine if he gets a good, a good situation. Plus, as good as Venom is going to be. I mean, you have Wolverine waiting for Venom. Game over. So, I think he'll be great. I think both of his team ups are good, and I think they'll do some work. These are the DPS from launch. We'll move into post-release DPS now. Mr. Fantastic, getting some pretty decent team ups, I think. He's been B tier because there's been a lack of tanks, and I've actually seen a pretty decent uptick of Mr. Fantastics recently. I think he's probably going to be C tier, just because I don't think his team ups are good enough to compete with Iron Man and that level that we have like the B squad in. But he's got some good ones. You know, the enlarged timer stuff with Rocket, that's a good set of team ups, and his ult then bounces enemies. But then it does the whole thing with tenacity, could hurt more than it helps. His Thing team up though is interesting. He's got the long distance haymaker like the Thing has. Like I said, long distance. And he has a much easier grab to bring people closer to him and then punch them further away. But again, does a lot of CC, could help or hurt with tenacity. I see the potential. I'm gonna put him down at C, top of C probably. But he definitely could. C for could. You know, C for could do things at some point in the near future. Human Torch. He's removing a damage boost anchor. I mean, right now, he's just at a point where no one plays him. It's a problem. It's, you know, enough said. No one plays him. He's good, but no one plays him. I think he's been getting better and better. They've been slowly nickeling and diming him. Get better and better and better. No huge update for his kit, but his team ups. One of them's really good. One of them's pretty good. The other one's all right. The Jubilee one with Seeking Fireworks is meh. The Storm one, though, I think will get used. Having the pulling fire bubble is interesting. And then, obviously, the boost to Stormbolt. So if you have a Storm playing, you're probably going to see a Human Torch. For that reason, they're probably going to be together down here at C. We'll see how much activity they see, but Fire meta has potential. Not all the potential in the world, but potential. Phoenix is going to make another row up here for S tier. She has been great. She's going to continue to be great. She's got some really good team ups too. She has a Hela team up, which I think is an absurd choice. Absurdly good, but absurd. Anti-heal on stun, sparks and damage with Hela, and then the rogue team up applies sparks automatically. Cool. I think the Hela one will be used, because anti-heal on stun is crazy. I don't see any, any end in sight to a Hela Phoenix. Hela Phoenix Namor trio on a team could go stupid hard. Like, could go just absurd. I mean, Hela, Phoenix, Namor with Venom. Not encouraging this because I don't want solo tank. Especially not solo tank Venom, that's just a bad idea. But even just Phoenix Hela with Venom on the team, that's just a crazy combination, man. Those three alone are just absurd. Then you throw like Wolverine with whoever for supports. I mean, like it'll work out no matter what. It'll be a great option. I don't know where supports are going to be. Supports have a whole toolbox of things, but they're not as clean cut and straightforward as the rest of them, I think. I think they're going to take a little more figuring out. But we're not there yet. We're at Blade. Blade has gotten some buffs. He's not terrible. I've seen him around, but he's definitely not. It's definitely still manageable. He's not been broken yet by any buffs. Blade is getting no changes, I don't think. No, he's getting no changes. So, they like where he's at. I still think he's going to be C tier. Got a Captain America team up where he's got Bloodline Overfill. That could be cool. And then the Moon Knight Crescent Dash stuff, where after he dashes, he throws some crescents. It could help with some things, but I don't think it's going to be anything to write home about. We may see him, we may not. He does have a couple team-ups with some interesting players, like Venom. Specifically, Venom has a really good team-up with Blade with the healing for him. Venom does not need any more assistance staying alive, but with that team-up, he does stay alive better, so could be menacing. Daredevil's A tier. People still ban him. He still does good things, but he's not absurd. He's definitely manageable. You definitely can do things with him, and you can still counter him. I think he's close to balanced. We'll see where things go from here. He's getting regenerative shield, and he's losing a 5% damage boost. Might make him fully balanced. Team-ups are not perfect, I will say. His block with Iron Fist regains flames, gives us some healing with Iron Fist on the team, which is a realistic team-up. 2 divers, that makes sense. Or you can do the AoE slow with Black Widow, that regains a flame if Widow's on the team. Talked about some potential dive stuff with her, so that's possible. I can see these two being a team up. I can also see these two being a team up together. So I'm not gonna rule out Daredevil ever because he always seems to come back. I don't think he'll be S tier. I think there are still better characters, but I see him doing things. Definitely do see him doing things. So he's at least A. An interesting option in DPS pool. I would say he's probably the best Deadpool right now. He is sorta... I think he's a very consistent pick. I'm just moving him up the ladder here. He's pretty consistent if you know what you're doing, but the thing is that he takes a little bit to get up to his full power. Once he gets to full power, though, if you really know what you're doing, like, you can go crazy on the guy. And these team-ups could help a lot. Having another movement ability, a stun for Gambit, and then having additional upgrades for guns, and then swords if Hela's on the team. That could go crazy. Depending on what the upgrade does, that could go crazy. Problem is that Gambit and Hela are both going to be permabanned. So it could go crazy, it could not. No, like, I'm hopeful that he'll be really good, that he'll be really strong. But I don't know. Cannot guarantee anything. But Deadpool is my favorite character in Rivals. I love the versatility. I think he has the capacity to do some crazy things, but gotta make sure, gotta get those characters through the ban phase, and Hela and Gambit are going to be a real trick to get through. That's all I'm gonna say. Also, Bloodstone is A tier right now. Solid, consistent, does very, very good things. Getting banned in high elo and pro play because she just gets over shield and does a lot of stuff and becomes a nuisance, but she's manageable. You're able to deal with her. She just moves a lot. She's like Deadpool. You know, it makes sense that they release them together. Moving forward, though, she's getting a huge ammo upgrade, a slight cooldown nerf, and I think a slight damage buff with Devil Dinosaur as an ally. Speaking of, she's got an AoE trap with Devil Dino. It's possible they'll be on the same team, so sure, why not? And then the Deadpool one is basically the same. Was ticking damage, you know. I can see her and DPS pool on the same team. I can see her and tank pool on the same team. I don't want to say that she is S tier level, but I do think she's going to have enough to probably stay in A tier at least, and really be a solid character. Speaking of solid character, let's talk about a not so solid character right now. Is Black Cat. Black Cat really got neutered. You know, spayed and neutered last season. She is bad right now. It's hard to play. Combos don't hit, don't connect very well. I'm being unfair. She's probably C tier, but compared to what she was, she's much worse now. And I just think getting some buffs is going to help her. I think. Not immensely, but I think it's going to help her. She's getting some regenerative health, getting a fortune cap increase, getting better gambling odds, but she's losing a 5% damage. I think she'll be C tier. I think that you can use her if you know what you're doing, have experience, if you have time on her. But I don't know if she'll be an auto pick. She's not D tier, she's not horrible, but I just realized I didn't have Squirrel Girl character. Wow, gotta change that. Anyway, Black Cat, I think you could do something with her, like Fantastic. I think it's possible. Team-ups are interesting. She's got Spider-Man one's pretty confusing. I don't really know what it does, but she gets overshield when she uses your grab. That could help. And then a Black Panther one, she gets overshield when she gets to low health. And a pulse, like a knockback thing. Could be interesting, especially because you could have Black Cat and Black Panther on the same team, both diving. That could be a menace, that could be a problem, but the amount of time, the amount of skill, you practically have to duo keep for that. Like, I don't know if that's going to come up that often. Alright, to the problem child. Let's get this out of the way with. He has been just a horrible problem. He will not be as much of a problem moving forward, though. Reduce primary damage, reduce ricochet force damage, increase cooldowns of 2 abilities, and remove 5% damage. That is a lot that they're taking out of him. His team-ups are not bad. He's got like a mini Gambit ult, just like Wolverine, jump boost, and then with Gambit it's a damage boost. And then the Phoenix one is a spread shot that does bleed. I think that's immediately better. And with Phoenix it does a longer bleed, and it does a little mini spark thing. But for Cyclops, it does like a mark that does more damage then. Pretty sure that's how that works. Also confusing. Also, we don't have the numbers for it and everything. We'll find out how it works on Friday. But yeah, I'm optimistic that he's not gone, he's not dead, but they have taken a lot out of this guy. So maybe he's in this Nebulous needs the right team up kind of zone, but you never know. You know, things could be good, things could be bad, things could be great, things could be awful. Like how I said, a speed run, and I'm at 1 hour and 30 minutes, so sorry guys, this is just gonna be a long one. Support time. Luna right now, A tier. DPS Luna is a problem. There are better healers, but she does a ton of damage. It's an awful amount of damage. Trying to take that away though, because she doesn't have the. They're saying she doesn't have the damage boost when she gives Snowflake to herself, but I think in the beta test server did still have that. So I hope they remove that. But got the Fox team up and the Adam Warlock team up. I think that'll be enough to keep her in A. I don't think it'll be enough to move the needle too far down for her. I think she'll still be very consistent, very solid. Yeah. Loki, always been S. He's as good as the best ult, so he's got to be S tier. I mean, he's got a good kit. He's got the lamps that do great things, like a mini ult, basically. Can save people from death in an instant and do a ton of healing per second. And his team-ups are great. I mean, I talked about the Angela one that he enables. It's getting almost... I don't think he's getting any changes to his kit, no. Got the Mantis larger lamps that now do knockback if you have Mantis. And then, oh look, another Hela team-up. That could be awful. Basically, if he gets a kill, he can clone them. Doesn't get their ult, but he clones them for like 8 seconds. And if Hela's on the team, which he probably will never be, then he swaps back to Loki if he gets killed in the clone state, instead of dying when the clone loses 100%, you know, all of their health. He swaps back to himself, and then he gets his health bar after the clone's health. I think he'll still be S tier. I think he's great. I think he'll be fantastic. I don't see any problem with him staying there. Similarly, Rocket has been great. I think he will stay great. Rocket has now damageable healing orbs with Groot, or healing nuts that he can throw that reduce cooldowns. Both seem great. Both seem amazing. I think Rocket was considered better than Loki. I think I would consider Rocket better than Loki still. And we will move on. Like, he's getting some changes, to be fair. If the healing orb passed through an ally, so with the Squirrel Girl one, it's the only way that would happen. It's more healing. Increases ultimate cost, and make it more distance-based. But he's only losing a 5% healing bone. Anchor. Well, you'll see why only 5% is a big deal in a moment, but only 5% loss is a really big deal, okay? Moving on to Mantis. Mantis, I always have to say, is difficult to rank because she has a very high ceiling and a very low floor, which all that just basically means that she has the capacity to do really, really good things, and she has the capacity to do nothing. Okay? She can do everything and she can do nothing. All depends on how you play her. Unfortunately, that evens out, that averages out at an A. I think these changes, these team-up stuff is going to help. She's losing a 10% healing boost, though, so that will hurt. But she's healing a lot more to her allies with her Star-Lord team-up, which gives damage boost. Basically, whenever she damage boosts someone, it will heal over time as an AoE. So all the allies around the person she damage boosts will also get a heal over time thing. The Star-Lord as an ally, it does more, it's faster, I think it's larger as well. So it's interesting, you know, it gives her definitely another angle of healing. But Adam Warlock gives her Guardian Revival. She can soul bond when she's dead, if Adam's on the team. That is a big deal. The Guardian Revival with just a self-revive with support is pretty crazy. I mean, that's just great. Why not? I think she's gonna stay A. I think she's kind of raised a little bit. If Luna does lose the damage boost, I think Mantis will overtake her for that, for the revive alone, but also having the capability to do the damage boost with faster healing. I mean, gonna put out a lot of healing, a lot of damage output with damage boosts, with speed boosts, with potential revival. Like, he's got it all. Adam is a B tier support right now. Doesn't do a ton of healing. Does more damage and healing. He's basically in triple support jail. Unfortunate, but it's true. Not much to say about that, but he will be a little bit better, I think. He's got a Storm team up where Soul Bond increases the speed of his allies, and with Storm it does damage increase. I don't think that one will ever get used, but it's there, possible. The big one is the Ultron team up. His right click can do healing, and it will reduce his healing cooldown. I think that could be serious. I think that could finally put Adam in a 2-2-2 potential thing. Plus, if Ultron is an ally, it becomes an AoE healing spread. It doesn't do a ton of healing, mind you, but it does healing. So if you focus all of your ammo with your right click, and then you do a ton of healing, and you reduce your healing abilities cooldowns, you now get the opportunity to focus entirely on healing. And it opens up a lot of doors for Adam, because then you do a ton more healing, you then can charge your ultimate, faster, I think. And his ultimate is the best part of his kit. It really is. So I have hope for the new Adam. He's reborn. Jeff is not reborn, he's gonna be the same. Jeff's getting no changes to his kit. But he's got the Venom team up that heals with Venom on the team, it hurts enemies. The Deadpool team up that heals with Deadpool on the team, it hurts enemies. He's good. He's solid. He's consistent. He needs no changes. I mean, I don't think supports are getting drastically changed as much as some of these other roles. Like, DPS is getting a huge shakeup. Tanks are getting the biggest shakeup, I think. Supports are relatively staying the same. There's just some outliers that are getting better with this thing. With these changes. I don't think Jeff deserves to go down to B, but I don't think his team-ups are the biggest deal. Cloak and Dagger, it's been S tier for healing output. They're interesting. Okay? They're basically getting maintenance changes to account for a 15% healing boost reduction. Okay? Part of why Rocket got the better end of the stick, basically. But, like, just maintenance stuff for a 15% healing boost reduction. It may or may not be enough maintenance, but hopefully it is. And they go back to a neutral. The team-ups are where they get crazy. Let me put them here for now. Luna Snow, freeze self-ability, where they can freeze themselves and become invincible at any point. That completely shuts down the mag ult stuff, meaning you basically have to ult as mag right when they use their ultimate, and then either wait out the freeze ability or hit them while they're in motion before they end. If they end, and then you throw it, and then they freeze, then you've wasted the ult. With Luna Snow, it also heals allies. They also have a Hood team up. Team up with the Hood, which is a healing curtain. The healing curtain now reduces damage input. So they'll put it out, they'll put out the healing curtain, it will stay put, and all damage that goes through it will be reduced. It no longer disappears immediately, will stay put at the end of its, the end of its movement, and then anything that goes through it, damage-wise, will be reduced from enemies. Also very good. I think the ultimate stopping with the freeze ability, becoming invincible, having that all the time, much better than the Hood ability, honestly. I think they're going to go crazy. I don't think they'll be one of Evolve, but I think they're going to go crazy. That's a crazy thing, because they can do it as Cloak or as Dagger. So, you no longer have to ult exclusively as Cloak. That's a good thing, And we'll see how much it impacts the game. I've done it for the others, so those are your on-release supports. Now on to post-release supports. Invis has been S tier. He has a ton of healing output. Invis, I think, gets hurt the most with these changes, though. She gets an increased healing by the outgoing orb projection. I think it's just her primary. So she gets an increased healing, and on both the outgoing and incoming healing. I don't think it's enough to account for 15% healing boost nerf, though. I think she's still going to be a main healer, but I am very tempted to take Invis down to 8. Okay? Very tempted. Because that healing boost nerf could be the end of her. Okay? I'll do this for last season. But I do think Invis was he's fine. I think these two are kind of interchangeable. I don't see much of a difference between these two. But Invis Alright, hear me out. If I take her down to A, is she still better than Mantis with these team-ups? As a healer. Is she still better than Luna? Because Luna's also losing a 15% healing. So that will hurt a lot. Jeff is losing no healing boost, actually. I think Jeff is going to be better than Luna. I'll leave her at S, and I'll decide that last. How about that? We've still got a couple characters to go through. Invis team-ups are Flaming Shield that has a lot more shield health. It also is a larger shield, so that could be interesting. I don't know if it does damage to enemies. I haven't seen anything about that, but it is on fire, so very possible. And then the Mr. Fantastic one is that she can stealth herself and allies. That, I think, will keep her S tier. Okay? That, I think, will keep her S tier, because if she can stealth allies, heal them at the same time, that could be enough to allow for quick retreats, for people to get in. She could actually be a very serious diver. If you do that, you could stealth certain allies to get into certain places, and then just show up out of nowhere, and boom. Just do a ton of stuff. That could He'd be a very interesting dive character. I had never thought of that. Use my knowledge, I beg of you. Maybe dive with Invis. Just saying. Possibility. Ultron. Ultron is probably the worst, second worst, sorry, healer in the game. Used slightly in pro play. Here, I'll put him here, I guess. Used slightly in pro play, but so much this is just inconvenient with him. He's not a main healer. Basically, he does healing on the side. You know, it's tough. But he's got the drones, it does what it does. He's getting an upgrade to the healing output of his firewall drones, which is good, because 30 per second to 35 per second is a pretty serious boost for him. Not bad. I think that will at least put him in B tier now. He's got a Penny Parker team up, which is interesting. He puts multiple drones on allies for like 2 seconds. He can use that ability, then use his shield ability, push out a bunch of health, push out a bunch of healing for a very short time. Not bad. You know, it's like an emergency button. The cooldown of that ability, I think, will matter immensely as to how good it is or how bad it is. And then he's got the healing beam with Iron Man, which being built into the kit, not bad. If Iron Man's on the team, he gets some missiles whenever he uses the shield. I think that you'll see Iron Man a little more than Zero this season. So it's possible that you get the healing boost, the shield missiles. You never know. I think he definitely will beat B. I think you'll see him some. I think probably the option to use the Penny Parker or the Iron Man one is very, very interesting. I think he's got potential, but he's not going to be the worst healer in the game. He hasn't been, and I don't think he will be. Speaking of the worst healer, no. Gambit is not the worst healer in the game. Gambit is still great, still banned a ton. I don't think he has been the best healer in the game recently, though. I'd even put him here. I think Rocket has just been outperforming most people. I think the battle for best support recently was pretty close, pretty tight. Gambit has 4 team-ups, though. He enables 4 different people's team-ups. So I don't think there's a debate. Gambit and Hela, the only 2 that enable 4 different team-ups. I think they're going to be perma-banned, and I don't think they'll ever get out of it. Unless things change, or they start nerfing some of those team-ups. Got some of those... I mean, Gambit giving mini Gambit ults to Wolverine and Cyclops is a problem, man. And then Wolverine and Cyclops having team-ups as well. Like, Gambit, Phoenix, Wolverine, Cyclops, Rogue. You're putting together a death squad right there, man. That's some crazy stuff. There's Jubilee in that mix as well, because Gambit's got a Jubilee team up. I haven't even talked about Gambit's team ups. Like, crazy. The Jubilee, Deflect, and AoE heal team up. That's not bad. And then a Magneto knockback healing bubble that explodes if Magneto's an ally. Like, come on. He didn't need that. He was already good enough. He was already, like, gonna be perfect. He was gonna be beautiful. Ultron clip incoming. Gambit's gonna be insane. He's been insane. He can be more insane. Now for the worst strategist in the game. That I don't think is getting much better. Like I said, he's got the Gambit and the Hela team up. Gambit team up is probably all you're going to want for him, because his jump actually does some healing, but hopefully you can jump backwards with it. Otherwise, you might have to do a flick or something. He just doesn't do enough healing output. It's not like actual substance healing, it's just kind of stat padding, pretty much. It's disappointing. I liked him before. He's broken my heart. Yeah. So it is what it is. Yeah. Moving on to White Fox. White Fox is, spoilers, she's the best. She's the best support right now. Between her and Rocket is what it is. So, too bad. So sad. She's not getting much worse though. Getting cooldown increase, moving 10% acre bonus, getting ultimate increase. I think she's still going to be pretty good. Definitely. Not perfect, but still pretty good. Finally, Jubilee was not there last season, but she will be here this season. I think Jubilee is probably going to be in triple support jail. Honestly. I think she will be in triple support jail. We'll see where things go. Got the Blade team up, the Hood team up. The Hood one is crazy because she actually does like a ton of damage, but the Blade one, it does some lifesteal, some AoE healing with Blade. I don't think you'll see a ton of Blade. I don't know, she just seems more like she's focused on damage than supporting, you know? And that's not a good sign. That gives me strat hole vibes. I don't want to put her in C. Putting her in B, benefit of the doubt, will be new. I'm hopeful for her. But I don't know. Like I said, I can only hope. That's all I can do. But this is it. That's it for characters. We will see how everything shakes out on Friday. I should be posting this Thursday night or Friday morning. So whichever time it ends up being, would be during the update actually. And we'll see. So hopefully things go well. Hopefully the game doesn't implode. And yeah. Hopefully everyone enjoys the update. I know I will be thoroughly enjoying it. No matter how chaotic everything is, I think it will be a new way to have fun in this game, and I'm excited for all the changes. You are too. Good luck, and fight the battle.